Hey guys, welcome back to Cosmopunk. We'd like to start by thanking you for sticking out with us this year. It's been a tough one, we know, and frankly, just being able to do this show and play games together has really helped me personally a lot. I know that for a lot of people who I talk to in the tabletop gaming community, that's the same for them, that they really love being able to just dive into that world for a bit. And thank you for sticking with us. Do check out others as well. It's been a real year, but we're still here, we're still kicking, and we plan to take it into 2021. This Christmas, to make sure we had a little bit of breathing room, we did an episode swap with our friends over at Spectre in the Fog. Spectre in the Fog is a Call of Cthulhu actual play podcast as well. They're also homebrew, and you can listen to them over at Spectre Fog on Twitter, spectreinthefog.com, and of course here, now, we're going to be doing an episode swap with them. So they're going to be playing episode 13 of our show, Meet the Rich, and we're going to be playing episode 3 of their show, Descent into Madness. Please be warned, Spectre in the Fog is a horror podcast, and there are some scenes that may be a bit macabre, especially since we start the episode dealing with some of the cases from Jack the Ripper. We'd like to give a big thank you and a big shout out to the Spectre in the Fog guys. You'll even hear a familiar voice while you're there. So please enjoy Spectre in the Fog, and Happy New Year from all of us at Cosmopunk.
Welcome to Spectre in the Fog, a homebrew Call of Cthulhu Chaosium game. Episode 3. What strange, mysterious circumstances have our brave investigators found themselves in now? Let's join the action. See what the hell is going on. All four of you awake on a street. There's a thick fog around you, and as you look up, you can see the glowing orange lights of what are the gaslit street lamps. It's cold and it's dark. You are a little bit disorientated, considering you all thought you just died in a cave-in, and now you appear to be somewhere completely different. Can you all, for me, just roll? Just wondering, would either? You know what? I'm going to have Cicero do this. Can you just roll an intelligence roll for me, please, Cicero?
Okay.
Oh, he's nailed it.
Extreme success. Cicero,
He's a clever boy.
because you're mad already, these sorts of things happen to you all the time.
Wake up with no trousers on in the middle of the street. God damn it.
And because you're actually a very intelligent guy, you realise I'm in London. I'm on the streets of London. This is strange. And as you clock that, you hear murder, murder, and then a police whistle blow. The fog starts to lift, and you see over all four of you glance over directly in front of you, and up against a fence is a bundle of what looks to be clothes. And you all four of you stand up at this point. And can Marcus, can you do a spot hidden roll for me, please?
Hey, 27.
Excellent. Marcus, you look across and you instinctively realise that is not a bundle of clothes. That is a body. As you look closer, you can see the blood, fresh blood, running down the pavement and into the gutter. What are you gentlemen going to do?
Mark is going to go straight into police mode. He's heard a police whistle.
Fucking hell!
Are you? How are you doing
again, this? As Marcus is halfway through saying something, and Wilfred,
I'm going to check them.
And then Wilfred busts out yet another very detailed sketch of the bundle in the dark, only lit slightly by the gas lamp above. Of the bundle of bloody things that is now up against the fence. And then time snaps back to Marcus.
Right. Yeah, Marcus has heard the police whistle. He's seen the body. He's snapped straight into police mode. Gets up, dusts himself down, and he's going to go and check it out. Where did the shouting come from? And the police whistle, for that matter.
Well, as you walk over, you see a constable running down the street towards you guys, and standing behind you on the opposite side of the road is a man sort of standing and pointing, slightly shaking. He does look very startled by what he's seen, especially considering these 4 guys are now just in front of him as well, surrounding this body already. He just assumes that you've run from somewhere, but there is a person standing behind you who has alerted the law.
Oh, if he's behind me, I'm going to spin on him then, like go straight into cop mode.
Cool. So as you turn around, you walk up to this gentleman, and a constable runs up and joins you 4. And just as you're about to question this man, who's, as I say, a little bit startled, he goes, "Stop right there! I've caught you lot red-handed."
Easy, son. I'm going to pull out my badge. Croydon Police.
Croydon Police. I thought you were from Brixton.
No, I changed it because it was the 1800s.
Oh, okay, cool. Croydon Constabulary. Oh, I'm sorry
Croydon
there, mate. Constable Fairtree at your service. What are you fine gentlemen doing here? I assume you've just run and stumbled on this scene after this gentleman cried for help?
Aye, that's right. Constable Queenston. Looks like, sorry, sir, can you tell us a bit more about what you've seen? To the guy. Like, he wants to take immediate control as a policeman, so this doesn't become these guys killed this dude situation.
While he's looking the other way, I think my journalism thing is going to sort of kick in, and I want to know more about the actual body. So while the coppers aren't looking, I want to try and find something more about the body itself.
Okay, so Wilfred, you've wandered off for a second, and you're looking at the body, and we'll come back to you in a second. As you ask the question, Marcus, the gentleman turns towards you and says, "Oh, I don't know, Governor. I was just coming down the road, and I glanced over to me left there, and oh, God blimey, there's a body over there, and there's blood, and considering the recent events, I screamed bloody murder. I did, sir. Yes, I did, and I didn't see anyone about, but it must have only just happened. Oh, I must have missed him. Must have walked past him. Oh my gosh. Oh, Lord, preserve me."
You did the right thing, son. Good job.
Oh,
Constable, would you assist me in this? Sorry, mate. What's your name?
Oh, Constable Queens. My name is Constable Fairtree.
I meant the murder guy.
You meant the murder guy?
Yeah, shouty guy.
Smith, sir.
Right.
James Smith.
Pop out my notes. Start making notes.
Generic.
James Smith. Got it. Where do you live, Mr. Smith? Around here?
Oh, not too far. A few roads over.
What time is it? What time is it in the world now?
Okay, so you pull out your pocket watch to get the gauge of time, and it is 1:15 in the morning.
All right. You have to excuse me there, Mr. Smith, obviously, and myself and Constable Fairtree here. Just have to quickly ask, what were you doing out here at this time of night? Not accusing you of anything. Just want to know what's going on in this area.
I was just walking home from my shift at the yard, sir. I'm a builder by trade, and I was doing a late shift at the yard, getting the horses in and the carts.
Nice.
God,
My old man was a builder. I respect the profession.
Well, bless you, sir. It's a noble profession, I have to admit. And as you gentlemen are talking, Wilfred, you have walked over to the body, and as you look closer, the light from the gaslight isn't great. Do you have any matches? Would you say you'd have matches? Do you want to do a luck roll? Yeah. Do you want to do a luck roll? See if you've got any matches in your pocket.
You can just ask me. I've got matches. No cigarettes.
No, I don't want you knowing what I'm doing.
Well, yeah, Wilfred's already wandered off from you guys. So you ferret around in your pockets. You don't have matches. You actually have a lighter. So you flick the lighter on, and it gives you a bit more light. And what you see when you flick your lighter on is a woman, or what's left of a woman, laying on the street. Her skirts have been pulled up, exposing her. There is a lot of blood, a lot of damage. It looks as though she's been sliced on her throat, pretty much ear to ear. And at that point, you have a flashback to the scene you stumbled upon 3 months prior during your investigation into missing persons. And can you do a sanity roll for me, please?
Oof.
Oh,
Is that a
The-
D10 or D8? What was it? No, D4, wasn't it?
Yes, I believe it is.
2.
Okay.
Oops,
You.
sorry, I didn't mean to click.
That's right. That's right. You stumble back, and not just the visual aspect of it, but the smell comes right back to you, and you are snapped right back to that scene in that warehouse on the docks in Southend. And you are there as the police burst in behind you, and you stumble back. And as you feel like you're falling, you snap back to reality, and you fall back onto your backside onto the pavement behind you, with a tremor in your hand. You drop your lighter. The sound of your lighter dropping alerts Constable Fairtree, Marcus, Cicero, and Cresta, and they all turn around to look at you on the floor, shaking. What is your course of action, gentlemen?
Did you say I dropped on the floor shaking?
No, Wilfred has dropped
No,
to
I
the floor.
On the floor shaking. Okay, that's why I said that. What the
So did this match pretty much everything I found before? Like, it's exactly the same kind of method.
It's similar enough that it has caused you to have a very vivid flashback, like PTSD, to what you witnessed before in that warehouse 2 months prior to the events of the beginning of the game. What are you other gentlemen going to do? At the moment, Wilfred is partially incapacitated on the floor.
I'd run over and see, probably see see if he's all right, and
Okay.
pick him up. Make sure he's not going too mad.
Crafty would unbutton his evening jacket and put it round him. Try to keep him warm.
Oh,
Good stuff. So you guys are.
He looks at the constable and goes, get this man a brandy or something. You see he's in shock. It's a terrible state.
Constable Fairtree looks around and goes, "Oh, God, blimey! You're all right there, sir. Well, I'll have to see what we're doing." And as he's looking
Jim.
around,
Give him anything, man. Give him something strong. Anything to settle his nerves.
as he's looking around, hey,
you copper, give me some booze.
yeah.
can I roll a spot hidden for some booze?
Alcoholism.
You can do a luck roll, see if you've got any booze in your pockets, Cicero.
Yeah, all right, I'll do a luck roll.
Oh no, Craft is quite likely to do that as well.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow! Cicero pulls out from his breast pocket a very. Both of you pull out 2 flasks and hand them, one in each hand, to Wilfred, who is steadying himself.
No. If Cicero's already got his out, Crash is going to undo his and start drinking from it. Cheers him.
Wow. Okay. So
Crash is rapidly becoming a functioning alcoholic.
Oh man, Marcus does not approve.
Cicero, do you hand your flask to Wilfred?
I mean, if he pulled it out, we can assume he does. But let's wait.
Yeah. So Cicero has handed the flask to Wilfred, and Wilfred, are you going to take a very big gulp of that mysterious liquor?
I mean, I would anyway.
You would anyway. You just risk it for a biscuit, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you keep going. You're chugging, and Cicero's standing there waiting for you to give it back, and you're still going. And then you eventually hand him back what feels to be an empty flask.
Oh.
And you wipe your face, and you steady yourself, and you stand back up again. Fairtree is impressed by the amount of alcohol you've just managed to knock back in one sitting there without flinching.
Not my first time.
Oh, He's going to walk over to the body now and inspect it. He's maybe not made of as much as stern stuff as he thought, and he steps to the side and vomits into the curb.
Bit grim,
Cicero,
isn't it?
not Cicero. Crasto, pass the cellar. No, don't give it to me. Give it to the corporal,
The constable.
the constable. Yeah, like Marcus is an ex-alcoholic and does not want to handle booze, but he understands I do want it.
Okay. Cresty, you gonna give Constable Fairtree a swig of your flask?
I pat him on the back first, and goes, "There, old chap. It's an ugly business," and then hand him the flask as I kind of direct his gaze away from the body.
Brilliant. And
What's a constable? Sorry.
pardon? A constable is like a street bobby, but it's like the
Yeah.
official name.
I guess because I wanted Marcus to be like, I don't know, one up from that, like a sergeant. What's about that?
It would go straight to sergeant. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
So you pull rank on him if you
Yeah,
wanted to.
basically, I'm
yeah.
not having this dude come over here, puke on our crime scene, and then try and accuse us of anything.
Well, while you're thinking that, Marcus, Fairtree wipes the vomit away from his mouth and takes a quick swig of the flask. Oh, thank you, sir, and hands it back and steadies himself again. Just says, "Right, I'm going to need your names. I've already got Sergeant Queenston's name. Your name, please, sir." And he points to you, Craster.
I'm listening intently because I've wanted to know his name. I've got like the pen and paper ready to.
Oh
write.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Shows Marcus like ear like really getting close in.
I think we all introduced ourselves before, though, didn't we?
No,
Yeah, but
Craster
the
didn't.
constable doesn't know who you are because he's just turned up to a murder scene and found you guys there.
no,
So he needs,
Craster never gave us his name.
yeah.
I'm telling him I've got nothing to worry about.
Okay, so while Craster is sort of like pondering, Wilfred, he gestures towards you, sir,
Yep, Wilfred Abernathy.
and he writes that down in his notebook. Wilfred Abernathy. What's your occupation, sir?
I am a journalist.
Oh, journalist. Very good. You're not making notes on this one, are you? I've had enough of journalists
No,
during this
definitely
crime
not.
spree.
Do I look like I've had a chance to make notes?
Do you want to just do a sleight of hand just to see whether you can sort of like put your book behind you and be writing as you go?
Well, no, I fell down, didn't I? So I probably would have dropped it.
No, you didn't have your book out. You only had the lighter
Oh,
out.
damn it.
So
Yeah,
and you fail, and he can see that you've got your notebook out, and he's like, "Right, okay, sir," and you can see him maybe underlining in his book your name for further questioning later on.
can I try and persuade him and say, "Oh, that's not really this. Look, I'm just trying to do my job here. I'm sure you're trying to do
you want to
yours."
do a persuade? Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You want to now do a persuade roll?
I mean, judging by that first roll, you're basically writing in front of his face.
Yeah. Right, look, I'll leave you out of it.
As you're writing down everything he says, you just go, "I'm not writing down what you're seeing." You're not writing down his name. He's all like, "Oh, all right then, sir." And you can see him rubbing out the underlines that he's put under your name. And just you imagine he's putting like a smiley face next to you. 'Cause,
Sort of trying to say, like, I don't need to write down that you threw up upon viewing the body.
he's like, "Very good, sir. Very good." He then points to Cicero. Your name, sir?
Professor Cicero Johansson.
Okay, that's a funny name, that is, sir. But I do not judge. And he writes your name down in the book. And he's like, "And your profession, sir?"
Professor of.
Oh, professor.
Yeah.
Funny that
Poison
being
the name.
professor. Well, there we go. And he writes your name down.
Can I do a check on the body? Because we've been standing here around this body.
Yeah. Do you want to? I mean, like, Wilfred's already had an episode. The policeman's thrown up. You're more than welcome to have a look.
Yeah, I'm here to do actual
Marcus.
police work, not like Fairchild here, who's a bit green, I guess.
Yeah. Fairtree.
Fair tree.
Yeah.
What do you want to roll?
Do a spot hidden roll for me, please.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, you knew it was coming.
So you wander over there and you have a look, and you're like,
The puke's in the way. I'm having hard to pay attention.
And I mean, you can see that this woman's genitalia has basically been eviscerated. She has multiple stab wounds. Her dress is up, and she's fully exposed to the world around her. The blood has now stopped flowing from the wounds, but she's got a very big slit running from ear to ear just underneath her chin.
I'm going to cover her up, and cover her dignity in death at least.
And as you do that, the gentleman James Smith wanders up with his coat and, without looking, just sort of like covers the rest of her. But accidentally steps in this. Yeah, he's like, "Not a problem, sir," and then slips to grab hold of the fence so he doesn't fall down.
Oh no!
Fairtree now draws his attention back to you, since you seem to have snapped back into your thinking of what name you're going to give this time to the constabulary, and he goes, "Your name, sir? I still haven't got that."
Oh, holy. Good child. Craster Goodchild.
Craster Goodchild. Occupation, sir?
I'm a dealer of antiquities and artifacts.
Oh, very interesting. So he writes that down, and
I've also written that down.
you've also written that down.
So has Marcus.
Marcus is like, "Good child? Sounds kind of familiar." And then
As far as I'm aware, I've never been caught, so I can claim I'm a legitimate businessman.
But you are like a gentleman thief, and you leave like a calling card.
But not with my name. Jesus, that'd be stupid.
That would normally be like for the press name for him, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the press name is. I don't want to use the Black Cat just because she's awesome and I'm not. So I don't know. I still haven't come up with one. I will come up with one. I'll come up with a nom de plume in a
Pink
minute. Right?
chimp.
The pink chimp.
the pink chimp.
The pink chimp has been here.
The silk
don't know what-
glove.
Actually, I really like the idea that like Marcus has been chasing the pink chimp for like ages and doesn't realize he's working alongside him.
I was going to go with the white owl, but I just can't. It's so strong. It is so strong.
The pink chimp.
Yeah, the pink chimp.
Chimp is too stupid. Wait. No. For the simple sake of the referencing, the Jade Monkey.
The Jade Monkey.
Isn't that in freaking Looney Tunes or something?
Probably.
I'm
Looney
pretty
Tunes movie?
sure it's from
That's
the
the
Simpsons.
Looney
With
Tunes
Brendan
movie,
Fraser.
isn't it? Yeah,
Oh, is it?
I mean,
that is.
I thought it was from the Simpsons. I thought it was the thing Mr. Burns found in his glove box.
I'm not sure how seriously we could take it. Like, I've stolen your thing, signed the Jade Monkey.
I love it.
Quite the
I
same
love it.
ring.
It is in the Simpsons as well.
I'm making a GM decision that is now Craster's working name, the Jade Monkey.
I thought that had
Shouldn't it
something to
sort
do
of-
with chairs.
Shouldn't it match the initials?
Shouldn't it match the
Like the
initial?
Crimson Goose or something?
The Crimson Goose.
The Crimson Drum.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, we'll figure this out later on. Either way,
We've got a reference to the fact that I'm a climber like a bastard. So, the Golden Gorilla.
the Golden Gorilla.
I think Crimson
buff
Goose
is-
or
yeah,
Crimson-
he's definitely pretty
Pink
buff to be like
Chimp
the
is
Golden
better.
Gorilla.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. The Pink Gibbon. No, that's not.
No, Crimson Gibbon. Crimson
The
Gibbon.
Crimson Gibbon.
Crimson Gibbon it is.
Done.
Done
strikes
it.
fear into everyone's house.
It's wait, we're making this legit. There we go. Crimson Gibbon. It's in the
Yep.
chat. It's official.
Right.
Make a note, gentlemen. Crimson Gibbon.
Mhm.
So,
Very important.
yep. So this may come up later on. You never know.
Oh,
Um,
God, I'm going to forget.
Well,
this
Mark's been after the Crimson Gibbon, so this is
I
a
may
big.
have been writing stories about the Crimson Gibbon.
None of us realise we've all been just
Crimson
hanging out with the
Gibbon
Crimson
strikes
Gibbon.
again.
Yeah.
It's going
And
to be a big reveal.
Cicero once saw a monkey. There we go.
To be fair, in the 1800s, that would be pretty impressive.
Yep.
That'd be up there with owning a pineapple.
I know. I mean, like, you guys are like the pinnacle, the cream of the crop of Victorian society when it comes to things that you have done and seen. Right, so Fair Tree now has all your names and occupations down, and he's looking you over, and he goes, "So, how do you gentlemen find yourselves here? You seem to be dressed in evening wear. Not really the sort of place that you go out for drinks late at night, if you know what I mean." And he sort of gives you
we're
a
on our
wink.
way home from a social gathering, my dear man.
Okay, social gathering. Where was that exactly?
With Beatrice.
Beatrice, right? And he's writing this down, Beatrice, and whereabouts is
Sorry, wait. We do
Beatrice
remember that
located?
Beatrice was just like a
It's
joke
right
name,
up down.
right? It's like
Why
a-
is this relevant lane?
Yeah, no, yeah. Beatrice was the joke name.
Yeah,
so,
Yeah, but I'm not. It doesn't matter what we tell him. We could tell him Balthazar. He's going to look even worse than Beatrice, isn't it? You know.
well, not really.
I was to say, unfortunately, our host was a bit of a cad and took us there in a coach with completely blacked out windows, so we didn't know where we were. He finds it quite a wheeze that we now have to try and find our way home.
Oh, very mysterious. Oh, I like that joke. Very good. And he starts chuckling to himself.
Yeah, he's a bit of a prankster, is old B.
Oh, B, and he writes that down in his notebook. He's writing all of this down in his notebook. He is loving it. He's never had to write so much stuff down in his notebook before. This is like Christmas for him. Like, he's got his orange and he's got his clementine.
Can any of us see exactly what he's been writing?
No, none of you can. He's standing in front of you. He's got his book up in front of him. He looks very official. While he's doing that, from behind you, four gentlemen, you can hear like a mob walking down. Sort of like not so much shouting, but making a ruckus of noise. And you turn around, and one of the gentlemen steps out, and he is about 5.5 feet tall, and he walks straight up to you, gentlemen. Very well dressed, bowler hat, very nice, big, bushy, sort of like old style Victorian moustache, and he reaches out with a gloved hand and says, "George Aikenlusk at your service, gentlemen. May I ask what's going on here?"
And who might you be, Mr. Aikenlust?
Yes. So I am head of the Whitechapel Vigilance Committee. We set up after all of these dastardly murders. And then at that point, can you all just do an intelligence roll for me, please?
Oof. I'm drunk.
Fucking hell. Cicero.
Clearly, we're all drunk. Freaking.
Yeah, Marcus isn't super smart. He's more streetwise. Holy shit!
Oh.
I take
Boom.
it back.
So
he's not smart, but he is paranoid.
well, in intelligence is more like street smarts, anyway.
Oh, fair play then.
So and if you were going to do anything educational, that's when you use your education skill point.
Oh, gotcha. That's why
points.
he's not smart.
So Wilfred is still slightly, I wouldn't say concussed, but still taken aback. So he's just sort of like standing there nodding. You guys all pick up on the fact that he says Whitechapel, and at that moment you all realise exactly the situation that you've just found yourselves in. A woman brutally murdered on the streets of Whitechapel at night. It can only mean one thing and one thing only. And I'm going to turn to you, Noel Edmonds. Yep, that's right. Noel Edmonds has come back in time, and with Mr. Blobby in a trench coat and top hat.
Oh no!
He is running around and murdering the prostitutes of Whitechapel.
I fucking knew it.
Craster, you've got it in one. Game over. We can all go home. No, I'm going to turn over to you, gentlemen, to all look at each other and realise who has most likely committed this murder. And what do you all say?
Jack the Ripper.
Yeah,
No.
It was
Like the
well.
the Ripper.
Well, Wilfred wouldn't say anything because Wilfred is a bit.
No.
He's a bit off of it, but
First thing I'm going to say is, has anyone got a cigarette?
I
we
might.
want to do another luck roll for it.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
have
go
them.
on.
Actually,
Well,
I kind of
there
want
you
to bully
go.
this
Yeah.
policeman a little bit. Oh, I'll take one from you as well. But I want Fair Tree to give me a cigarette.
Fair Tree looks at you and goes, "Oh, I don't know, sir." And starts messing around in his pockets, and he pulls out a little tobacco tin, and gives you a very neatly rolled cigarette. Do you need a lighter as well, sir?
That's all right. I've got one of my own. I'm going to take that, and I'll take Wilfred's one. Cheers, Wilfred. Lights it up and goes.
Cigarettes.
So it looks like we're dealing with the Ripper, eh?
And Miss Galoss turns at you and goes, "Oh, so you know of this bastard's work, then, do you? Well, yes, if that's what you're saying, it appears as though this is now the 5th victim of the Ripper." And he looks over at the constable and says, "Constable, do you have any information for me? We need to record this and make sure everything's kosher." And the constable sort of looks a little bit strangely at Lusk and just says, "You're a civilian, sir. I'm not going to hand over police intelligence to you." And as he says that, some more police officers turn up from his side of the street with what looks to be a doctor, someone carrying a bag, and they walk over to the body and sort of start to section it off. And one of them's like, "Oh God, looks like the Ripper vomited here." And
Finally, DNA evidence.
and
What's
and
DNA?
God, yeah.
And Fair Tree sort of at this point turns around and leaves you gentlemen with Lusk, and they're sort of like mumbling to him, "Oh, that was me, lad, sorry." And they seem to be dealing with the body. Lusk gains your attention once again and goes, "Oh, very rude of the constable there. And I suppose you gentlemen would like to fill me in on what's going on. As I am head of the Vigilance Committee, we do like to keep records of these things. It's very useful for us to know where the murders have been committed."
It's been committed here.
Well, yeah.
I'll be honest with you, sir. It was committed. Yeah, like as my fellows here said, right here. It seems we've covered her for her modesty, of course, but right now it's a police matter to find out exactly what happened. I'm sure that you'll find out when. Wait, sorry. Who was the journalist?
Me.
Wilfred.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll find out when my good friend Mr. Abernathy pops it in the paper.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, okay then, gentlemen. Well, you look like you're in a fine dress, but you're not exactly dressed for the night's air. Do you have anywhere to stay, by any chance?
Wait, hang on. We were in Croydon. We ended up in Whitechapel.
Yep.
Then no.
Long tunnel.
I guess in theory I could probably go to any bobby shop and just like kip there, but couldn't take the others with me.
Yeah. As you all sort of like look to each other, sort of a bit like, "Well, hang on, how the hell did we even get here in the first place?" George Lush says, "Look, not to worry, gentlemen. I have enough beds, blankets, and pillows for all of you. If you would like to come and join me and my family tonight, we can have a spot of food and then turn in for the night, and maybe we can just have a brief conversation about what's happened today." And with that, before he's even let you communicate what you want to do, he's turned around, waved the mob off, and they've wandered off and dispersed, and he's like, "Come on, gentlemen, follow me," and he's strutting off down the middle of the road. What are you guys going to do? This does appear to be your yeah, go on.
BRB.
Would any of us have heard of him before? We're all history or something to see if we heard of him. And
Yeah, if he's part of this committee, then he must have made some kind of a dent.
Or maybe I would have seen it in another paper, or Marcus would have heard of it.
Okay. Out of game, the Whitechapel Vigilance Committee hasn't actually been running for very long. George Lusk set it up after the second murder, I believe, and it was a case of he didn't feel the police were doing enough, and there were already like a mob sort of going around. So he tried to basically set up a vigilante group that were slightly official and would go around and hopefully catch the Ripper before he would strike again. As you know, Lusk was a member of the Whitechapel community, so he sort of like took it upon himself as a citizen, as a civilian, to try and help as best he could. So that's just a bit of outer game knowledge for you guys, so you understand the character. Wilfred, you may have picked up on murmurs of something sounding like the Vigilance Committee.
Do you want a history just to see, or something? Or
it wouldn't be
well,
it wouldn't be history. It would probably be
God, what would it be?
probably be an education role, because it would be something that you know. It wouldn't be street smarts. That would be an innate knowledge that you'd have.
Really?
Okay, so you sort of like think back, but in your haze of the moment, you can't really think of anything. Marcus, you probably also would have heard through the Met, although Croydon wasn't technically part of London at that point, what was going on in Whitechapel, and you very well may have heard of Mr. Lusk. So would you like to also do an education roll for me, please? Just to see if you can fill the other guys in.
Oh,
Pow, you know exactly who this gentleman is. You've even seen him in a newspaper doing an interview. So you, I'm assuming at this point,
I didn't notice that.
yeah, it was your newspaper, Wilfred. That was the problem.
Different department.
Yeah.
if we're looking to head to him, then I'll tell them this guy seems like on the level. I've heard him in copper circles. He's trying to do some good, but he's only a civilian. So let's try and keep the events of tonight a little bit to ourselves for now. Yeah.
Don't you have to tell me twice?
Yep. Sounds good.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
is Cresta happy to follow the group as well? Or?
Oh, Crash is going to go along and see. Yeah, he hasn't actually got anywhere to stay, so Crash really does need a place to stay.
It's better than staying on the streets next to that body. That's all.
What would I roll just real quick, just to like? In D&D it'd be insight. So what I roll to get insight on Cresta, just real quick.
That is a good question. I'm just having a quick look at the sheet. Probably psychology. You might be able to pick up on little ticks or.
No, I'm not.
No.
No.
Okay. So you look at Cresta up and down as you guys are wandering off after George Lusk, who is strutting with confidence off towards his home in Whitechapel, and you don't really seem to pick anything up from him. It's not as if he's a blank slate, but it's just as if he's he just doesn't give off. Yeah, he just doesn't give off a vibe at all.
Yeah.
After about a 10-minute walk, you come to a very nice townhouse somewhere in Whitechapel, and Mr. Lusk is like, "Come on, gentlemen!" And he's walking up the steps, and he opens the door, and he goes in, and the lights are on in the hallway, and he's beckoning you into the home. He's like, "Come on, gentlemen! I'll put on a spot of tea, and we can have some sandwiches." And
Ooh, I'm there.
It's a bit early for sandwiches. 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, it's now closer to 2 a.m. after everything that's been going on.
Oh, now it's fine. Just find out it's now.
Sorry.
Why
Yeah,
you say
no,
so?
2 a.m. sandwich is fine. A 1:15 sandwich, that's madness.
Wow! So you guys literally all like, "Oh yeah, it's all sandwiches, tea. Oh yeah, oh." You're going up the step. It's borderline comical because you're all trying to get up the steps all at the same time, and then you slowly sort of like squeeze through the door, all four of you at once, and sort of like, "Oh yeah, sandwiches," like a bunch of seagulls filtering through the house, trying to find the dining room to sit down. Yeah, exactly like Finding Nemo. You're all like the seagulls in that, and he sits you down in his drawing room, and he gets his wife up to make some sandwiches and a pot of tea for you guys, and you all sit in his room. It's very, very nicely furnished. Green velvet wallpaper, strange choice. but seems to work. It's split with a bar, a dado rail that goes around the room. So the bottom half is striped, and the top half is more sort of like a flat green. So the bottom half, let's say, is more like a green cream stripe. Very nice sofas. It looks as though it hasn't long been refurnished, and you've got a roaring fire, and it just feels very homely. You actually feel quite safe there compared to the experiences at the mansion. It has a completely different vibe to it. It doesn't feel mysterious or strange or threatening in any way, shape, or form. So you all feel like you can kind of relax, and you all rest back in your chairs, and you all have your fine bone china and teas, and you're eating your cucumber and cheese sandwiches.
Craft's deadly allergy to cucumber kicks in.
Oh no! Quick,
No.
roll a Constitution roll.
I mean, he
So-
doesn't, but
I
mechanically dies.
feel like if you failed that, you would just instantly die.
I think we'd have to find the Victorian equivalent of an EpiPen.
What do you think? He just
Brandy.
avoided his bowels.
Brandy, yeah, they just give you a brandy. Sorts
Yeah,
it out.
brandy man. Get it back up.
So yeah, you're all sitting there drinking your tea, eating your sandwiches, and Mr. Lusty is there, sort of like shoveling the sandwiches down, and he's all like, "So, gentlemen, how do you find yourselves in Whitechapel?" Taking a sip of his tea. Though he dresses like a gent, he doesn't necessarily act like one. Let's put it like that. And so he posits the question to you guys.
Crash, we were on our way back from a party.
Oh yes, very interesting. Still sipping his tea very loudly.
Marcus hates this. This guy's slurping in front of me. He's like, oh.
Oh, I've spilt some on my tea, spilled some of it in his saucer, and he sort of drinks it out of the saucer.
To get angry.
Even more.
And like some of it goes into his very big bushy moustache. He's like, "Oh, excuse
God.
me!" And he gets his like handkerchief out and he's like dabbing his face, and like crumbs are falling everywhere. And he's still going.
Oh, no.
I think we should tell him about the squid.
You want to tell him? So Cicero wants to tell him about the squid, does he?
Yeah.
No. We don't want to tell him about the squid. He doesn't know how. He's just a civilian. We don't want to. We could ask if he knows anything about. Oh, God, I'm calling him Beatrice as well now.
Balthazar.
Yeah, we should ask if he knows anything about Balthazar.
Okay, go on then.
Can I? Well, yeah.
Yeah, no, you go ahead. You ask.
Yeah. So, George, do you know anything about a gentleman named Balthazar?
Balthazar. Balthazar. At this point, he's sort of leaning back in his chair, looking up at the ceiling, cradling his head in his hands. Balthazar.
Owns a mansion down in Croydon.
Mansion in Croydon. Interesting.
Figured you might move in similar, fancy circles. Looking around here, it's a pretty nice place you got.
Oh, thank you very kindly. Yes, I've not long refurnished. Got to keep up with the times. And he then sort of leans forwards, looks you all dead in the eye, and he goes, "Balthazar, yes, never heard of him." And then
Thanks for nothing.
Fucking knobs.
You've got a
And
little
the,
something in your moustache, by the way.
"Oh, hello." And he sort of like he's picking out. He's get a cucumber, and then sort of like starts eating it. You notice
I'm
there's
gonna
actually
look around for like another cigarette case anyway.
okay, and you sort of notice while he's picking out this, while you're doing that, Cicero, you notice there's a bit of moustache hair actually stuck to the cucumber that he's now just eaten and swallowed.
Well, this seems like a perfect opportunity.
Wow! Time partially stops this time. Things are moving quite slowly, but it gives you enough time, Wilfred, to sketch the scene, and you put finite detail on that hair, just gently nestled on top of that little piece of cucumber as it enters his mouth. And as your pen lifts up from the page for the final time, time starts back up again. Marcus, as you are looking around, once again you see behind you against the wall there is a table with what looks to be a cigarette case on it. are you just going to take one without asking, or I mean, are you?
Don't make me listen to him slurp tea and eat cucumber sandwiches like an animal. I'm having a cigarette. So, but I always say, like, you don't mind me upping myself to one of your, to a bit of your backy do?
Oh no, not at all, there, sir. But by the way, gentlemen, I have the foggiest idea of your names. I've invited you back to my home, and I don't know who you are. So he's
While this going on, can Craster lean over, look at Wilfred's drawing, and go, "I can't deny you've got talent, but I'm just not sure there's a market for this kind of thing."
No. Trust me, this will be perfect. And I now want to grill him on everything he's doing as part of the anti-Ripper movement, because this is going to be the nice little piece in the paper, the picture of him as their leader eating the hairy cucumber.
Eating the hairy cucumber. Right. So are you gonna?
Hairy cucumber? Is it too late to change my criminal name?
Marcus immediately stops looking for the hairy cucumber. He drops the case.
He's like, no, I'm going after the fucking clan instead.
There's no way he's going to walk into the station and go, has anyone heard about the hairy cucumber?
Perfect nom de brie.
All the coppers look around and like start sniggering. Hairy cucumber. Right. Where were we? Yeah, Wilfred, you were going to ask George Lusk about the Ripper case, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm not really going to be listening much to him. I'm just going to be sort of writing everything he says down.
Okay. So
Because there's going to be a story in it.
Yeah. Would you like to posit the question then?
Just so, what exactly is it that was it an order? Is that what they were called?
The Whitechapel Vigilance Committee.
Committee. What exactly is it your committee does or stands for?
Oh well, we've not long been set up exactly, Mr.
Wilfred Abernathy.
Oh, Mr. Abernathy. Yes, we've not long been set up. We only started on the 10th of this month. Let's see. Basically, there's been quite a few murders. Definitely 2 that we can speak of, and after the second one, well, I can assure you, sir, that I was very displeased with the actions of the police and the London Constabulary. So myself and some friends, like-minded friends, decided to set up the Vigilance Committee. You could say we're a little bit like vigilantes, but a little bit more organised and not as violent. We do try to help the police in their inquiries. If we do see anything, we inform the local station, and we also keep Inspector Aberline, who is the detective in charge at Scotland Yard. We try to keep him abreast of all situations as well, but obviously he has the police for that, so he doesn't necessarily need us. As he chuckles, he goes to pour himself another cup of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sort of like nodding along and like writing everything he says down, just because I know that is some kind of like puff piece the paper might want.
Excellent.
So what can you tell us about what you found so far with your committee?
Well, so far, Mr.
Queenston, Sergeant Queenston.
Ah, Sergeant. Army fellow, are you?
In another life, yes.
Okay. Well then. Yes. Unfortunately, only what we've managed to glean from the papers and asking a few questions. It does seem as though the Ripper, as they're calling him, is taking parts of these women, these unfortunates, while in the act of murdering them. But heaven forbid they're still alive while he's cutting them open, removing these parts. But we can only hope that God had mercy on their soul. And he sort of like passes you over some newspaper clippings from a book that he has next to him on a table next to his chair. And if you open it up, you can see it's just full of local newspaper clippings from the last couple of months that all lead back to the speculation that there is a serial killer on the loose in Whitechapel. Excuse me.
So, just real quick, did he ask me if I was army because he didn't realize I was a policeman, or just what?
Mm-hmm. He would assume,
okay.
Sergeant, you would have been ex-army.
Yeah, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, I mean, I guess Marcus could be ex-army.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But I mean, but if you're a policeman, obviously you're going to say, "Oh, Sergeant, whatever," because you're going to be still in police mode. I would have thought. So
Yeah. So I'm
So
just
it
trying.
kind of
I don't
works.
know like old police like lingo. So it'd be like Sergeant, Inspector, or something.
No, you can just be a sergeant. You can still be you can take a sergeant's exam and still be a police officer before you would take the detective exam or the inspector exam, whatever it is.
Okay, so I guess he would have said in another life, yes, but for now I am a. But now it's Sergeant Policeman.
Policeman.
Sergeant Policeman Queenston.
Ba-da, 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 bow.
That's the name of
He
my
just
show
cuts to you with like a pose with your truncheon, sort of like Charlie's Angel style.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's just me on my J's doing all the poses.
Yep. Maybe you're pouting a little bit as well. I don't know.
Oh, he's always pouting.
Yeah.
Is Fairchild joining you in that, like Charlie's Angels thing?
Yeah, I'll take Fairchild. What did Fairchild look like?
Oh right, yeah. I never actually described Fairchild, did he? He had like in if you imagine Zulu and was he a drill sergeant? He had like he was always like Hooky, the guy that was always trapped in it was fighting in the hospital and didn't want to fight anymore. He was trying to invalid himself out of the army. He had like this really big bushy eyebrows and like a handlebar beard. So he didn't have anything on his chin, but from underneath his nose it ran all the way around. Yeah. So he was like that, sort of very sort of prim and proper kind of thing. You know,
I'm imagining the
well-dressed.
guy from the first Jumanji film.
Yes, or even the guy from the Jumanji film, who's also his dad. It's the same actor as his dad.
Is it?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, basically the guy was terrified of his own father, so his fear manifested as that.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Pow. The more you know. So George Lusk finishes his last cup of tea and he says, "Well, gentlemen, I'm quite tired, so I'm going to turn in for the night. My wife has left some blankets and pillows out for you in the other room. You are more than welcome to bed down in here, and I shall see you all in the morning." And with that, he stands up and bids you all a good night, sort of like does a half bow, and then leaves the room and pulls the door. Excuse me, the door closed behind him. What are you guys going to do? You're going to? I would probably say after the time you've had recently, a good night's sleep at the moment is probably the best thing for you. So yeah.
I think like Marcus will say, "Look, lads, it's been a weird old night. I think we can get some rest, process this, in the morning. I don't know about you, but I'm going to go back to that mansion and find what's going on. I'm going to take as much of the constabulary as I can with me."
I think you're on your own on that one. I am not going back there.
Fair enough. I won't ask you to come along if you don't want to, but I would like to make sure you guys are safe. You are, of course, my only witnesses. Is there any way I can contact you, maybe? Anywhere I can find you?
You can catch me. I don't know. My residence is in Cambridge, and I'm normally around the university, so you can catch me around there.
Yeah, and you hand him a handwritten
card or
note
something.
that has your address on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wilfred Craster.
Craster is going to give him a card for an antique shop that he uses as a front.
Cool.
What's the antique shop called?
I was going to say, is it called?
Yeah,
the
what's the
Crimson
antique?
Goose?
Please let it be a play on your actual name.
Hairy cucumber.
Hairy cucumber.
Marcus rips it up and throws it away.
So you are called the Crimson Gibbon when you're doing your acts of crime. So what's it going to be called? Your store.
Let's see, what is the store going to be called?
I suppose you could call it the Jade Monkey, and then Marcus could be all like, "Oh, interesting," and just sort of like in the back of his head, sort of like the cogs start to turn again, like, "Oh, yeah. Monkey, Gibbon." Like you're literally playing a game with him now. You know who he is, and you're just fucking with him. He is your Inspector Zenigata to your Lupin the Third. You are just
nice.
Yeah, deep cut coming in. Yeah, all right then. The Jade Monkey Emporium.
Huh. All right. I
And,
don't know. Hang on. I want to. What do I roll again? Psychology.
Yep. Oh,
That's fine. He
When-
just nods. He goes, "Hmm."
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was a good roll. Wilfred, what are you going to do? Are you going to hand him an address or anything, or?
Yeah. Again, nothing really to hide, so I'll just hand over any information he needs.
Brilliant. Okay, and well, with that, you gentlemen all grab pillows and stuff from the dining room. It's an adjacent room. It's one of those rooms that's just basically split by a double door. So you open that out, and you got the dining room. You grab your bits and pieces, turn off the lights, and leave the fire going, and bed down for the night. It's now 8:45 in the morning, and you hear a knock at the door. A few knocks at the door actually, and you hear the door open. And can you all just do a listen roll for me, please?
There's so many things you can click. Oh, here we go.
Oh my lord!
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that wasn't gonna happen.
Oh,
That wasn't
jeez.
gonna go.
Did you all just fail that?
I don't know
We
why I've only
still
got
got
19
one.
in listen.
Wow! Why? Wow! Yeah. For
Yay.
a policeman, that's pretty
Yeah, my
bad.
listen's really low. I don't know why.
We'll sort that out later on. Don't worry about it. Okay, so you guys are all still tired. So you just hear
Like Chewie.
Is that a dog?
more like the
I
parents
thought it was a Wookiee.
out of Charlie Brown. That's what
Oh
you hear.
right, okay.
Wah 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 wah.
Wah, wah.
And
How dare you? My mother was a saint.
and you hear the door close, and then you hear a knock on the drawing room door, and it opens, and it's Mr. Lusk. He's like, "Oh, gentlemen, are you all awake?"
No.
No, 5 more
Whoa.
minutes.
Craster sort of sits up and takes his flask from his pocket, takes a shot from it, puts it back again. He goes, yes, I'm ready to face the world now.
Okay. So with that, George Lusk is like, gentlemen, that was just Constable Fairtree. He's asked that you all attend a formal interview at Scotland Yard. Frederick Aberline would like to have a talk with you. He's the lead investigator on this case. I've already booked a carriage for you. Held one down. So once you gentlemen are ready, please jump in. They said they'll sort out your breakfast for you, and I'll speak to you sometime soon. It was very pleasant having you here. And again, he sort of like pulls out from the door, closes it behind him, and leaves you guys to get ready. Takes you all about 10 minutes to get yourselves sorted out, straightened out. You all leave the residence, and as he promised, there is a large black carriage outside with the cab driver on top. He says, "Gentlemen, carriage for Scotland Yard."
That's us. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool,
Yep.
Hop in then,
Apparently.
gentlemen. It's already been paid for. No worries there. And you guys all jump in, close the door behind you, and less than 20 minutes later, you are being pulled up outside the old Scotland Yard. I'll try for next week to actually get a picture of it so you can kind of see what it looked like. I didn't get a chance to do it this week, unfortunately. But it's a large building. Outside is Constable Fairtree waiting for you, and he's standing there with another gentleman who's dressed in a suit. He's quite tall, maybe just about 6 foot, and Fairtree's like, "Oh, gentlemen, good to see you again. I hope you had a nice sleep. Sorry about the earliness of my call. This here is Detective Edmund Reed, and he's going to take you upstairs to have a debriefing, if you like, with Detective Inspector Aberline. And I will see you gentlemen later on." And with that, he sort of saunters off, twirling his baton as he goes, whistling to himself, and leaves you with Edmund Reed, who sort of like looks off towards Fairtree, just like with a bit of disgust in his eye, and says, "Gentlemen, as the constable said, my name is Edmund Reed. I am a detective from Whitechapel, and I am leading the investigation on that end of things. If you follow me, we're going to go upstairs and speak to my superior, and hopefully get a bit more information out of you, gentlemen, and maybe fill you in on a few things." And he takes you up. Within a few minutes, you are sat in a smoky room in front of not so much an elderly man, sort of late 50s, possibly early 60s, very well kept hair. Once again, everyone in Victorian London, at least every policeman, seems to have some sort of giant moustache or beard going on, and Aberline is no exception to that. He's got a large beard. He's sitting
Are
there.
they better than my beard?
I mean,
Can I roll to have a better beard than
You
these
roll
guys?
for beard.
I
you
wanna
want to roll
for
for beard. Let's roll for appearance then, and see if your beard is better than his beard.
Wait, did you say appearance?
Yep.
Wait, no, I changed my mind.
No,
Holy shit!
oh,
My
extreme
beard's
success.
amazing!
That is a quality beard.
You
Magnificent.
There's not a lot going on for you, but that beard is. Mwah.
Aberline, like from his perspective, looks at your beard, and it's like the light of a Lendil on your face. It is the greatest thing he has ever seen, and is like, you must be Sergeant Queenston from the Croydon Constabulary. Am I right there, son?
That's right. They call me the Beard of Croydon.
The beard of Croydon. He says, I can see why there, sir. Reed is standing behind him by the window, and he's sort of like looking out over London. And Aberline just basically begins to fill you in on the information that you would have already got from Lust, but with a bit more detail. Probably not going into as much detail with the actual wounds that the victims have got, but possibly going into other bits and pieces that wouldn't have been in the newspapers. And at one point, he mentions the words strange symbols, and at that, your ears will sort of like
Cup.
stand to attention, if you like, and you are now completely focused on what he's saying. What are you guys going to do at that point?
Have you got any sketch work of these strange symbols you mentioned?
And with that, Abeline's like, yeah, I think we do. Reed, can you hand me that envelope behind you there? And Reed grabs an envelope off of the cabinet, and he hands you a sheet that has some runic symbols on it again, that look exactly the same as the ones that you found in the catacombs underneath Belthorpe Manor. At that point, you all realise that whatever is going on in Whitechapel is somehow linked to what has been going on, or what was going on, probably still is going on underneath Belthorpe Manor.
Right, Wilfred, you've still got your sketches, right?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Monolith sketch.
And with that, Wilfred hands his sketchbook over to Reed, and he's like, what are you going to say, Wilfred?
One of them goes, "Why have you?"
This is the sort of thing we saw.
Just say copyright Wilfred.
Yeah, it's got my name right in the corner, like WA.
Every sketch is signed
You've
with
got a massive
what it is underneath it.
watermark over it.
Yeah.
Just a few sketches of some things we saw last night.
Oh, God, you've given him the.
I don't hand him the one of the monster in the pit, though.
Okay, you hold on to the monster in the pit, but do you hand him the picture of Balthazar, though?
Actually, if
Yes.
Wilfred, if you give it to him, because we want to. I don't think they know that we were like in the thing. We've only told Fairtree, who is here, that we were just like at a party. So we need to make it clear that we are not. This was some kind of like, I don't know, covert operation. That not that we have anything to do with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
Well, I think at that point you hand him over the book, and in there he's like, "Oh, blimey, looks like a door." And he turns a few more pages, and he's like,
That's the biggest.
"Sir, is this a joke, lad? Because that looks like a comedy penis to me."
The professor here can confirm that is indeed a monolith, my good man.
And he looks to the professor, and he's like, "Can you confirm that, sir?"
No.
Crying out
And
loud.
then he looks back at you, Wilfred, and he's like, "Well done, lad. Looks like you're wasting our time. Maybe you need to spend some time down in the cells, eh?"
I'm not even going to help you with this one. You drew it.
I
have to be
really don't think putting me in the cell will solve anything.
There have to be
Okay.
punishments for failing
Yeah.
those things.
At that point, then he's like, "Well, I don't know." Turns the page and then sees the room that has the blood ritual in it, and he's like, "Bloody hell! What were you lot up to last night? Reed, take a look at that. Call some constables in." And
Hold on. Before it all goes a bit. Oh, go on. Sorry.
well, Reed takes the book and has a look at it and flicks back to the comedy penis, and
Yeah, lads, look at this comedy penis.
he can clearly see that there is maybe a bit more detail in it than possible, and it doesn't look like a penis. It looks more like a big rock that's got some stuff written on it, but just hasn't been drawn very well. And then he flicks back to the other page, and at that point he says to Faberlion, "Sir, I'm just going to take these gentlemen outside, and we'll get them booked in, and I'll take this notebook with me, and I'll
booked
I'll
in.
get, yep, and I'll get back to you in a little while, sir. I'll speak to you later on." And Aberline's like, whoa, whatever, and then grabs his pipe off the desk and starts puffing away at it while looking at the morning newspaper. And Reed leans into you, gentlemen, and goes, "If you wouldn't mind following me, please, gents. I think I'll take us into a different room." And he opens the door and leads you off to the other end of the ball pit, if you like, down a small flight of stairs to what essentially is an interrogation room, but isn't in use. And he leads you in there and grabs a couple more chairs and then closes the door and locks it behind him. At that point, then he throws the sketchbook down on the desk and is sort of standing, pacing up and down in one of the corners, holding his chin. And he looks as though he's sort of like struggling to sort of like figure out exactly how he's going to word what he's going to say next. And then he stops, facing the wall, and says, "So you gentlemen know about the runes as well, then?"
Not much.
Yeah, a little bit. Nordic
Yeah,
runes.
we had some dealings last night with what can only be described as a bunch of mad rich bastards. What do you know about these runes?
Reed turns round and he's got a smirk on his face, and he's like, "Jesus Christ. Okay, gentlemen, the other officers aren't clued on this, but I'm pretty sure I know what's going on here. I've come across these runes before at 2 other murder scenes before the Ripper killings began. I first investigated a murder of a woman on the 3rd of April. We got a couple of army lads for it. They say they bayoneted her, but something didn't feel right. And there was a mark etched on the wall where the woman lay, and I took note of it. And then again on the 7th of August, I heard of another murder and another sketch of a mark. After some investigation, I found that these were runes. And then when the Ripper murders, and he uses quote fingers for this, started on the 31st, the same similar runes. I feel as though these are all linked, and I think you gentlemen may have stumbled on a link between what's been happening since April and what happened to you gentlemen last night, and what happened, and what I fear is going to continue happening for quite a while. And with that, he sort of pulls a chair out from underneath a desk and sits down in front of you and sort of gestures towards you to sort of, with his hands together, sort of underneath his chin, and he sort of points towards you four, and says, without saying any words, inferring that he wants you to basically fill him in on everything that you know. Are you guys going to convey the information from the night before in as much detail as possible, or are you just going to act dumb on this?
I'm playing dumb.
Right.
Personally, I don't think it's not believable. We went into a house and got attacked by a giant tentacle monster in the basement. The Victorian policeman is not going to wrap their head around that, regardless of what they think they know about runes.
Okay. So Wilfred's made up his mind. Cresta, Cicero, Marcus.
I mean, I can't roll insight every time I do anything, but I am a copper. It seems like something I should be doing.
I feel like.
Yeah, can I do a psychology on him as well, just to try and?
Yeah, if you guys, if a couple of you guys want to roll some psychology on that,
take the first one. Take the first one.
Christ! Wow.
Yeah, we're gonna go with the first one. Actually, it's just
That's
a
the
double roll.
100 you've had.
Yeah.
I think Mark is going to believe him. Like, he doesn't have any reason to not trust other police. This is the 1800s.
Yeah, exactly. But Wilfred
he's actually somebody who like knows about this stuff.
Yeah.
You've already given him your book, though.
Yeah, but I've held back some key photos.
Yeah, you haven't. He hasn't shown him the monster or Balthazar yet.
Right. Okay.
Wilfred, with your extreme success, you look across at him and you can see in his eyes that he has seen things that all four of you have also witnessed, and he's probably only a few pieces away from throwing certain things together. What would you like to do?
Can I persuade Chris again with his magnificent drawings of Balthazar and the other person to see if I can show the policeman the?
Given I don't think you need to. Given that I've now seen that in his eyes, I would probably slide that across the table and not say anything. The tentacle monster one, just to see his reaction.
Yeah.
If he gets a bit weird, I can go, "Oh, sorry, wrong picture," and show him Balthazar.
That's my personal
because
project.
That's a bit more normal.
That was a
personal
wild
project. So you
The
slide.
Japanese really love it.
Yeah. You slide that picture across the table towards him, and he peers down at it, and then looks back up at you, glances around the room, looks back at the picture, and then pulls out a pocketbook, a well-worn pocketbook, and lays it on the table, and frantically flicks through it. The best way I can describe it is the Grail book that Henry Jones Sr. has in Last Crusade. It's like that kind of book. Looks like it's been handed down, and there's lots of information in there. And Reed stops on a certain page. You can't see what's written on it unless you guys want to do a spot hidden roll.
Yeah,
I think actually a spot hidden roll would be quite good right now.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Nope.
No.
We suck.
You know, I feel like we're pretty safe. I'm going to push my roll.
Okay, cool.
Hey.
Pow. So, Marcus, your first look, you can't see anything because his hand's in the way, but then he moves his hand and you see the word Pit Keeper underlined. And Reed notices that you've seen the book and he closes it quickly, and pushes the image back towards Wilfred and puts the pocket back in his book. Puts his pocket back in his book. Puts his book back in his pocket. Jesus. And he looks at you, gentlemen, and he goes, "I see. I can safely say that we're on the same page here, sirs. I am going to request your help in my endeavours with this investigation. We need to figure out exactly what's going on here, and we need to stop it as soon as possible. I gather you've already met Mr. Lusk. He's a little bit eccentric, but he is feet on the ground and he can be useful to us if we need him to be. I'm heading back to the Whitechapel station. I recommend you gentlemen head back to the crime scene and see if you can pick up any extra information, and then meet me back at the police station at your convenience. And with that, he stands up, unlocks the door to let you gentlemen out, and he sees you all out. He goes off, back off into one of the rooms at the back. And what would you guys like to do?
Gonna ask for a cigarette from Abernathy. Oh wait, no, he's got a pipe. Can I get some backy? Like, I haven't been able to stop anywhere to buy tobacco in this whole time, and I lost all my cigarettes.
Well, do you want to do a luck roll and see if you've got one? Oh, there we go. Bam.
Wilfred's, I don't know where you keep getting these from, Wilfred, but all right, thanks.
Can never be too prepared.
So you light up in the police station, and you're all sort of like standing there, sort of in a circle, if you like. And at this point, I think it's probably best if you guys discuss what you want to do next.
I feel like I would want to keep looking now. Now that I've seen that the occult things are in place, I feel like I would be intrigued. So I would go back to or plan to go back to the body to see if there's any other clues.
Where did the guy go? The guy who was just interviewing us, whose name I can't remember.
Reed. He's just gone off in another direction in the ball pit behind the main desk, and has gone into an office back there, probably to collect his bits and pieces before he heads back off to Whitechapel. You want to follow him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. As you walk off towards his direction, you get to the desk and you go to lift up the sort of like plank. And at that point, a policeman walks over and slams it down, and he's like, "No chance, lad. You better back away now if you know what's good for you."
Oh no, it's fine. I'm with Reed. He asked me to come and look at something for him. Wilfred Abernathy, journalist for whichever paper I told you I work for, and I can't remember the name of it.
It was the Sun, wasn't
it? The police officer looks at you and goes, "I know Reed's a bit of an odd one, but I'm not too sure he'd invite a."
Fuck it.
Hold on.
Sorry.
No, I'm pushing it. Oh, for fuck's sake!
I've got you.
No. You can't. No, you can't. Cicero is not in the situation. Wilfred has now double failed. Persuade.
I'm gonna get punched.
And this policeman's looked at you and gone, right, to the cells with you, grabs you by the collar, and frog marches you off while you protest your innocence. And takes you down and locks you in the cells.
You just seem being like frog march past us.
The minute police start frog marching people at places, I have just snuck out the building.
Yeah.
No.
I make a very discreet exit.
Cool. So at this point, Cresta just sort of like
the police are arresting people.
Just sleeps off.
Surprisingly, I just wandered off. I just oh dear.
Yeah.
Can I ask him what he's arrested me for?
It's just the 1800s. They're not going to tell you anything. Might beat you up instead.
I quote the law at him and fail.
You're all like, I thought this was America. I thought this was America. Dragging you off and
a meal, a succulent Chinese meal.
I am the French ambassador. This is unacceptable. See?
French, and he's like, sorry, Froggy, don't listen to yours. Locks you in with a burly chap who's already sitting on the bench, who seems to be covered in tattoos, and he just looks up at you and goes, and you are in the cells, Wilfred.
Sucks to be you.
What are Marcus and Cicero doing?
Did we see him get marched off?
What's that?
Did we see him get marched off?
Oh yeah, you've just watched him get arrested for basically trying to wise talk himself out of a situation.
You know what? Marcus goes up to the copper and says, "Sorry, officer. You haven't got a cigarette, have you?"
And the policeman looks at you and goes, "Oh, not too sure, sir." And pats his pockets down and pulls out a suspiciously similar cigarette case to the one that
This is a
Fairtree
very
had the
popular cigarette case.
other night. Opens it up and hands you a well-rolled cigarette, tightly
obliged, much obliged.
cigarette, and lights it for you as well, and
Thank
then
you.
puts
You
it back in his pocket.
Fancy joining me, sir?
Oh no, I'm on duty, son. No, I need to stay on my post. I've got some paperwork to do anyway.
Of course, fair enough, fair enough. Listen, small thing. One of the lads that's been assisting me on the side with a pretty big case. He's a bit of a mouthy one. I saw you dealt with him, and you know what? Don't blame you, mate. Absolutely, but unfortunately, just right now, I do need him on hand.
Well, that's so and so. Well, he was mouthing off to me something rotten there, sir.
Oh, I know. He's a terrible one. I'll tell you what. I'll finish this snout, and we'll give him a bit of time in the cells, and then I'll go pick him up. How's that? Teach him a bit of a lesson.
All right, as you wish, sir. And with that, you sort of, hang around for about 10 minutes. Let Wilfred stew in the cell with
with big boy Barry.
Can I sort of nudge him like, what are you in
Big
for,
boy
big man?
And he just looks at you and goes, "Ugh."
Yeah,
and
me
you can
too.
see you can see like his knuckles are slowly going white as he clenches his fists that are sort of like next to him, sort of in
Do I
front
still
of
have
him.
my pen and paper with me?
Yeah, I mean he hasn't taken anything off of you. Oh
So
no,
you're going to
Why
sketch
hasn't
Barry?
that gone
Oh,
through?
don't sketch Barry.
It's not working. I'm trying to, but it's not letting me. There we go.
Oh,
no.
You pull out your sketchbook to go and draw him, and Barry stands up. And Barry is like 6'8" tall and built like a brick shithouse. And he grabs your sketchbook and pen, snaps your pen in one hand, and tears your sketchbook in two with the other one, and drops it on the floor, and then goes
As
sits
in, like,
back
down the
again.
middle.
Yeah, like down
Okay, that's
the
fine.
middle.
All the
Like,
pictures are still intact. Fine.
no, like down the spine. So he's turned it sideways and torn your sketchbook. Sort of
Did I
like,
take all the pictures out?
no. I mean, your sketches.
Ah,
I think
got
you
3 failures, dude.
you would probably have you would have had the sketch of Balthazar and the pit creature in your pocket because you took them out of the sketchbook already. But
Yeah.
you've lost the monolith.
okay, those were the good ones.
You've lost the sacrificial chamber, and you've lost the door.
You've lost
So-
George.
The
as
door
well,
was an
and the
awful
hairy
one as well.
cucumber.
Yeah, you've also lost George Lusk and the hairy cucumber.
Oh,
So
I kind of just chuck him. All you did is ripped up a comedy penis.
did you just chuck a comedy penis at Barry?
No. I chuckle and say all you've done is ripped up a comedy penis.
Oh right. Okay.
Oh no, wait, he's
Wanna
going to think
get
I'm
beaten
him.
up by this guy.
And he now looks at you. He hasn't even he's barely sat down, and you can kind of see his eyes are starting to go a bit bloodshot at that point, and his face is going a little bit red, and his knuckles are going just a little bit whiter, and he goes to stand up, and the policeman from the desk and Marcus come down and open up the cell and literally drag you out as Barry's standing up to come to you.
All
The
right,
officer
go for it.
closes.
Making friends already, actually.
Ah, I could take him.
And at this point,
Please,
guy-
back in.
Big Barry is standing now by the door going like just shaking the gate as you're all
Yeah.
walking away.
I'll blow him a kiss. Settle down, big man. Mwah. Oh, damn it.
I'll put you back in there, Wilfred. Stop messing around.
And with that, you are led out, and Marcus, you walk out, and Wilfred, you're still sort of the police officer still got you by the collar, and he literally throws you out of the police station onto the street. Turns around, dusts off his hands, and walks back to his work.
Wait, he's got the cigarette box, isn't he?
Who's got your cigarette box?
The copper.
No.
No, he had a very similar one.
Okay, I thought you meant
He's
he stole
got
mine.
the same. He's got the same cigarette box as Fairtree, Constable Fairtree.
Oh,
So with that, you gentlemen are out. You, as Reed instructed, you hail a cab, and you head back to the murder site. Well, at least you head back to Lusk's house, and from there you remember your steps back.
As I snuck out first, I'd probably already procured a cab for them all.
Okay, cool. So
Oh, so you're coming back with
Well,
us then?
it's that, or I could make Jaws split the party as Crast has buggered off to look up the value of occult artifacts, but I kind of think making him GM2 things like that seems a bit unfair. But it's totally what Crasto would and should have done, is bugger off and try and find out if there's anything valuable worth nicking in the occult one.
From the police station.
No, from the other place, the house, I think. No.
Oh, Whitechapel House. Thingy's house.
Yeah.
Cucumber's
Thingy's
house.
Yeah.
Cucumber's house.
Okay, I mean, so you all take the carriage back to Lusk's house, and from there, I mean, I'm assuming you are all actually going to go off and retrace your steps back to the murder scene during the daylight. So you've all traced your steps back through the morning sunshine, and once you get to the scene, you can see by the fence where the body was that the blood has now been washed away, and at least off the pavement, and there is sawdust and sand that's been put down to absorb anything that's left. On the fence, however, you can see that a foot up from the ground, there's a definite blood spray, which no one's noticed. Probably from when the Ripper has slit her throat, and it's the arterial spray up and out onto the fence. Can you all do a spot hidden roll for me?
Hey,
Haha.
it's a pass.
Oh, so close.
So, Wilfred, with your successful spot hidden, next to where the blood spray is on the fence, you see a graffiti, which looks similar to this.
Are you drawing it or do you have a picture of it?
He's drawing it on
I'm
the
just going to
thing.
get rid of my stick man.
Yeah, I move my my sheet. Give me a second.
That's me drawing it. I've already made a note of what it is. So you see this symbol, not drawn but carved into the wood on the fence. It's very different to the runes you've seen before, but at the same time, it seems strangely familiar, and you can't quite figure out why. Cresta and Mark, you spot this, and you're just like, well, "That's a little bit weird," but you don't sense any relevance to it. Only Wilfred gets this sort of, oh, hang on, this looks. Do I ever seen this before?
Do I have another sketchbook?
I mean, you've still got two halves
Roll
of a
a luck.
sketchbook.
Roll a luck.
Fine.
Okay, so with what little paper he's got left, you make a sketch of the symbol that you found.
Didn't they
As
break
you-
your pen as well?
Yeah,
I've got a
but
pencil.
he's got pencils,
Oh,
he's got
okay,
paints, he's got all sorts.
All right.
There's always a pencil tucked behind my ear.
Yeah.
Don't want to know where else they're tucked.
When you look around on the floor and you look around the amount of sawdust that's there, you can tell that the pavement, by the time they took the body away, must have been pretty much swimming in blood. Knowing that, Marcus, you probably deduce that, there's a possibility that that woman's heart was still pumping while she was being carved up after her throat was slit. It probably wasn't as quick as a lot of people would have hoped it had been, which is a bit disconcerting, really. But what you do notice is a trail leading off down the pavement and round this fenced wall. It's very faint. It looks like it's droplets of blood that have been missed when everything's been cleared away, and it's going down an alleyway. What would you gentlemen like to do?
The obvious answer is follow the trail. I
Yeah,
suppose.
that's yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Cool. Okay, so you follow this trail round and go down this very narrow alleyway. And this trail seems to lead to a sewer cover. When you get there, it looks as though there's also blood on this cover as well, as if it's been lifted up and then pulled back into place once someone has made their way down. As you guys get to the get to the sewer cover, 3 constables wander around the corner as well. They appear to have been put on some sort of guard by Reed for whatever reason, just to make sure that the crime scene doesn't get tampered with. And they walk up to you and they go, "Gentlemen, I understand that Detective Reed has sent you down our way. My name's Constable Adams. This is Constable Williams, and that there on the end is Constable Harris." And he just goes, "All right."
Sup?
All right.
Wagwan.
Wagwan, right? Okay,
Wagwan,
cool.
Tamalan.
Bomber clat.
Are you going to tell them about the
Have you
trail?
ever spoken to a police officer?
Not a Victorian one.
Not a
I
Victorian.
don't recommend doing that to a modern one either.
Are you going to tell them about the trail that you've just found, or are you going to introduce yourselves to these gentlemen?
Introduce first. Make sure they know the score.
Yeah, just introduce. Don't trust too many people at the moment.
Marcus will. I mean, like Marcus meets police. He talks to police. He's a policeman.
Yeah.
So he goes, "Yeah, afternoon, lads. Sergeant Queenston. What's all this? Hello.
Hello. Do you sort of like bend your knees and sort of like hold your lapel?
Yeah, put my arms out and go, hello, lads.
Oh, brilliant.
Like, he's still got his hat and everything. I think he probably, popped it on. He's back in Bobby mode now. It's a daytime.
Yeah. You got a bowler hat on.
Yeah.
You're set for solving crimes.
Yeah, spinning your truncheon and everything.
Yeah, you're spinning your truncheon and you accidentally hit one of them in the face. Like, oh, sorry. He's like, aye. No. Williamson sort of chimes in and he's like, hello there, Sergeant. Detective Reed just sent us down here to keep an eye on things and then help you guys out if you needed, help you gentlemen out if you needed any aid or anything. Why have you come down this alleyway, though, by the way? Doesn't seem much down there. It sort of closes off by the end.
Yes, Constable, but you see, there is another way out. He could have motioned downwards. And I was wondering if gentlemen would be so good as to remove this for us.
Williamson looks at Harris and they both nod at each other and they reach down, get their fingers in the grate of the sewer cover and they lift it up for you guys and put it off to the
very,
side.
very quickly, though, while they're all distracted lifting that, Crafter wants to look around and see if there's any way to climb out of here, if anyone could have gone up. Now, I don't know what you want me to roll for this, because I've got a very good climb, so I know I might be able to climb it, but whether that would be what you want me to roll, no or not.
All right. I mean, the alleyway is quite narrow, but it's not narrow enough for you to like shimmy up the walls, sort of like Jackie Chan style or like Assassin's Creed, if you like.
No ladders, fire escape, or ivy.
No, you've got two buildings either side of the alleyway that sort of like make it. One is a residence. The other appears to be some sort of shop, maybe a haberdashery shop or something. At the back of the alleyway, there does appear to be, another fence, but this one's about 8 feet tall, and there's something you can just about see something on the top of it. So maybe someone's put some wire up on the top or something to try and stop people from climbing over. But other than that, I mean, the alleyway is just, there's like some old posters that have been slapped up on the wall and like a bit of detritus and whatever on the floor, but nothing necessarily that would indicate anyone has climbed out of there recently.
Fair enough.
Cool. So with the cover pulled back, Adams runs off back round the corner, and you can hear some sort of like fumbling. And he comes back with a couple of electric torches, which were around at that time, quite expensive, and the local Met Police have a few of them on hand. So Adams walks up. He's got conveniently 4, and he says, "All right, lads, I think we should probably all go down here. If you think this is the way that the gentleman went, who wants a torch?" And he sort of like spreads them out in front of you.
I'll take one.
Cool. So Marcus has a torch. Do you want to just make a quick note of that somewhere, just so you know you've got it? Who else is going to take one?
I'll take a torch.
Cool. Wilfred's got one.
There's 2, is there, or is there one for each of us?
There's now 2 left, and Williamson is going to grab one of them. So there's now only 1.
Crafter won't take one because he wants his hands free.
Okay.
Well, I don't mind. I'll go without one.
Okay.
If someone else is going to take it.
Adams then keeps hold of the other torch because both Marcus and Wilfred have one. So the torches are all dished out, and with that, you all descend down the ladder into the sewer system. When you get down there, you can tell that it is incredibly well constructed. If you've ever actually seen a Victorian sewer system, we still have and use them now. Perfect brickwork with waterproof mortar, making a completely cylindrical, or nearly completely cylindrical tunnel with a flat bottom. There's a bit of debris down there, and maybe about 3 inches of water running constantly and dripping in the tunnel. It's relatively linear though. There's not a lot of offshoots, so it seems to run pretty much following the road system in a way. So you guys have a vague idea. Once you get down there and you look back up and you sort of get your bearings, you kind of know what direction you're going in if you're on street level. You've really got one of two ways to go. You can either go left, which would be back down the alleyway if you were on street level, or you can go backwards. Sorry, it would be going back down the alleyway if you're on street level, or you can go forwards, which would be going beyond that fence that Craster saw at the end of the alleyway. Which way would you gentlemen like to go?
How far away is the body for this?
The body is at a morgue somewhere, and is.
I mean, like where it was murdered. Sorry.
So if you were to go back up out of the alleyway, you would take it's 10 yards back down the alleyway, and then another sort of like 15, 18 yards down the road, going left. If you come to the alleyway, you're coming out of it, go left.
About 30 yards away.
Yeah,
all in all. Okay,
Yeah.
That's fine. In that case, I would suggest that we would split up and search for clues.
Or what, like Scooby-Doo kind of style?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Bro.
Okay. What sort of teams are you guys going to pair off in then?
Well, we got one person with a torch on either side. I don't know. I can't remember who's got them now.
Me and Marcus.
So you got
Marcus,
Adams.
yeah.
You got Adams and Williamson, the two of the constables. They've got a torch. Harris doesn't have one. And then it's Marcus and Wilfred that have a torch out of.
Crast will go with Wilfred because Crast doesn't want to get paired with a copper.
Makes
Cool.
sense.
Well, with that, Harris walks up and goes, "Oh, I think I'll come with you, gentlemen." And then
There's a copper, but it's too late now.
and
Try and
Adams.
persuade him not to.
Do you want to do a persuade roll,
No, it's
Craster?
okay. Because that would look suspicious.
No? Okay. Cool. Adams hands Harris his torch because he says, "Well, if we're doing now, I'm not going to need this," and hands it off to him. So you've got a torch at the front of the column, if you like, and a torch at the back. And you pretty much set up. So who's going to be ahead of Craster's group? Is it going to be
Probably me with
Wilfred?
the torch, right?
Wilfred. Okay, so it's going to be Wilfred, Craster,
No.
Harris.
Wilfred, Harris, Craster.
No. In that case, then you need to take
Oh,
the
because
torch,
he's going to be at the
Craster.
back with a torch. Okay. Okay. I'll remain hands-free.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought he'd given away his torch, meaning he had one. My mistake.
Oh no. Sorry. Yeah. That's okay. How are you going to be setting up Marcus, Cicero?
Well, I'll go in the middle because I haven't got a torch.
Yeah, I'll go in front.
Marcus, I think, would be straight in there.
Yep. So Marcus is head of the queue, and then it's Cicero, Adams, and then Williamson at the back with the torch. And the two groups filter off in either direction. I'm going to go with Wilfred's group first, and as you wander off down the tunnel, you come to a fork, if you like. There's two different directions you can go, and then it looks as though when you shine the light down the left one, there's another offshoot off the left. So essentially, you've got 3 ways that you could that your group can go. What would you gentlemen like to do? If we label them tunnel 1, 2, and 3 from the right to left.
Is there any kind of sign that shows either of them have been used recently? Any like
Yeah,
disturbed
what can we see down there?
or
Maybe?
marks on the walls or?
So Wilfred, Craster, and Harris at this point, though Harris is just sort of doing his own thing, looking at the walls. Wilfred and Craster, you can't see anything that would have necessarily said that anyone's been down here. It's a bit too damp. There is a lot of marks on the walls already, just from like build up of like residue of you don't really want to know. That's been sloshed down the sewer system at some point. You can hear if you do a listen roll for me, please, Craster.
Craster's gone deaf.
Okay, you can't really hear anything other than just the sound of the water underneath you flowing.
Can I have a crack at that? Because I'm in the same group.
Yep, please do. I just thought Craster would have had a better listen.
No, because Craster's listen's terrible.
In that case, Wilfred, you can hear some faint dripping off down tunnel number 2. That sounds as though it could be promising, but there's no visual signs of anything of any interest. What would you two like to do?
Oh, I got to tell them that it sounds like there's a dripping from tunnel number 2.
Right. So Wilfred's told Craster that there's possibly something down the second tunnel.
I think
Craster,
we'll head
what
to
would you like to do?
tunnel 2. Well, he's off. You should deal with the other group.
We might as well jump back to Marcus and Cicero's group and see how you guys are getting on with your adventure going in the opposite direction. So your direction is basically, if you're on street level, has led you back out of the alleyway, and you walk for about 300 yards without really anything eventful happening. You can see by the time you get to what would be the other, as you would pass the street and past where there would be residences, you can see that there are some sort of like tubes running off into the wall, which would allow runoff for anything that's been coming down. But it's mainly the sewer system is for anything that's just been dumped in it from either end, really, and then flushed through by the rain. You end up coming to a point where, again, the tunnel forks off, but this way it's basically you hit a T-junction. You can either go left or right. As you peer round to your right, you can actually see that there's a gate, like a metal gate down your right, maybe 50 yards down. And if you look to your left on the tunnel, you can't really see if there's anything down there. What would you guys like to do?
If we can see down the right and we can't see down the left, let's stick to what we can see for now.
Yeah, I think that will be the smarter thing to do.
Yeah.
So go down the left, or go down the right, sorry.
Okay. Cool. So you guys go down the right, and as I say, 50 yards down, you come to a metal gate. Unfortunately, the gate is locked, but it looks as though there should be a key for it with the city surveyors, which the police could quite easily get hold of. And there does look to be like there could be some marks on that gate which look a little bit suspicious, like someone's possibly picked it at some point. Do either of you two have lockpicking as your skill?
I've got a 1. I'm not locksmith. No, I haven't got locksmith.
No.
Hang on, I closed my thing so I could see this image.
Does
Where would lockpicking be?
No, I think it'll
it's
be
actually called
one.
It's actually called locksmith. It's down. It's underneath listen.
Oh, I have a 1 in that. So
Okay.
I've got a 1 as well.
Yeah.
Probably not worth you guys picking that lock. Williamson steps up with his torch and flashes it and goes, "Oh, it looks as though someone's been messing about with this lock, but I should be able to get us a key if you guys if you gentlemen want to head down there a bit later on. Might be something interesting. I mean, I can't think why someone would want to pick a lock down here if they weren't doing anything legal. essentially implying that only a wrong'un would want to try and do something down here.
Damn wrong'un.
Damn wrong'uns.
Those damn wrong'uns.
Bastards. We're going to jump back to Cresta and Wilfred. You have decided to go down tunnel number 2, and as Cilla Black pulls back the curtain, you see it's a tunnel.
Hey.
And you get a week's break in Blackpool.
Sure it's not Croydon?
No, it's Blackpool. You guys walk down the down tunnel number 2. Tunnel number 3 is actually an offshoot of number 2, and you can see down there when you flash your torch down that it seems to split off into a lot of other little narrow tunnels that are probably too small for an adult to get down. If you found a child, you could probably force them down it like a chimney sweep or something, but there's no way an adult's going to get down there. So you continue on down tunnel number 2. When you get to the end of this tunnel, however, you come to a stone wall. Can you two both roll a spot hidden
Dan's
for me,
not
please?
here. He's just gone to the loo.
Karen, do you want to roll a spot hidden for me, please?
Right, what do you want me to roll?
Spot hidden.
That's what I roll.
Ah.
Oh, Craster's
No,
rubbish.
Craster probably would have been fine.
Wilfred,
I have shit throwing dice.
To be fair, it's versus 25. He wasn't going to get it that easily.
yeah. Wilfred, however, shines his torch on this door and sees that it is covered with runes again.
Ugh.
And in the
This-
middle
Again.
of this door is carved the symbol that you think you've just seen up by the murder scene. So you get out your sketchbook and you have a quick look and you're like, yep, that's exactly the same symbol. So Cresta, you fail to spot runes on a door, but Wilfred has. Wilfred, are you going to inform Cresta of what you have just seen on this door?
Yes. You might as well. Just say, look, it seems to match this.
Wilfred hands you the sketch of the symbol that he saw on the fence post that was carved into it, and you can see, Cresta, it perfectly matches what's on this stone door. When you both look close, a little bit more closely at the door, you see there's no handle, and there doesn't seem to be any keyhole. But you can definitely see it's a door because it has a surround to it. Do you guys want to try?
Can I see the hinges?
You could see possibly where some hinges should be, but they're hidden because this door's
Okay.
so large. What would you guys like to do with the door?
Does it look like too big to like bash down?
I mean, there's 3 of them there. They could give it a go.
My body, but
Yeah, let's just give it a go. Have you got anything fancy you can use to get through the lock?
I'd have to find the lock.
Well, there's no visible lock on the door. It's just
Oh.
it's just a big stone block that's in the way, covered in runes, and this symbol in the middle.
Try and use intimidate.
Intimidate. Does anyone actually want to roll for that?
No, yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead, intimidate the door
Getting through a
down.
door seems very much
Intimidate
like
the
a you
door.
thing.
Yeah.
You gonna do it? You're gonna give it a go?
I just realised I have a specialisation in explosives.
Wonderful.
I think I
I'll try and
actually
intimidate as well. Screw it. Well, that's actually quite close.
You could use a luck for that if you wanted to.
No, that's fine. I'm not wasting luck on shouting a door down.
Yeah, you shout the door
No.
like.
Screw it.
You
My
just-
1 in 100. Let's go. Ah.
Well, I mean, there was nowhere
no
for you to
lock on
put a
it.
key on it anyway.
I would have
And
tried anyway.
When you shouted at the door, you just threw your hands up and went, "Open sesame!" in the hope that something would happen, but nothing did. Cresta, did you say you're an explosive?
I
expert?
have quite a score in explosives, yeah. It's under my science skills.
Okay.
Don't think I would have Wait, can I say, I really don't think I would have brought any explosives with me.
Well, do you want to roll luck just in case?
In case I had some C4 in my back pocket this whole time.
I think you may have had some sort of gunpowder or something with you, possibly. Fuck me.
He's got an
Okay.
arsenal in
Wow.
there,
So you reach into your inside
Wait.
left breast pocket and
Because
pull out.
and the chemistry, and because we're in a sewer, Crash was like, well, very covering is, well, gentlemen, there is such a thing as explosive sewer gas. And I suspect if I could just lump enough stuff here together, I could probably make a little bit of a bang that'd make this door go down. But you should all back very, very far off, just in case I get this wrong, because I'm no expert.
This is not what you want to hear.
Harris looks at you with the torch in just pure disbelief that you even have anything that could do this. Actually wondering who you
I
are
just claimed
to be
I'm going to
carrying
try and
stuff
make
around.
this out of shit. Now, he might think I'm insane, and he's free to eat I'm insane, but he has not seen me take any explosives or anything like that out of my pocket, because I haven't.
I'm so glad that Marcus can't see this because he would be so mad.
Well, we're just going to hear a bang in a second.
Yeah.
I am blaming all of this on explosive sewer gas, gentlemen. Do I have a roll for bullshit? Because that's what I'm going for.
It would be fast talk if you want to do a roll for bullshit.
Can I kind of pick up what he's doing and fast talk for him, because I'm very competent in that?
Yeah.
What he's fiddling about, I can sort of try and talk to the.
You would
never mind.
have to do an intelligence roll.
Yeah, because my fast talk isn't good. I could charm him.
No.
Right. Okay. So you've got no fucking clue what he's doing, but your Wilfred is
Rather than fast
slightly
talk,
like.
can I try and charm him into
explosives.
thinking that I'm just going to try this?
Well, no. I mean, at this point, I think Wilfred believes that you're going to try and do this. He's been with you long enough at this point, and he's like,
Oh, no.
Wilfred's Barney Rubble at this point.
Yeah, I think Wilfred, it might be a good idea to lead Harris away down towards tunnel 3.
I might have overrated my expertise in explosives. I mean, it's a number.
Well, you're going to give it a go anyway. So Wilfred and Harris back off, and they leave you to set your explosives. Do you want to do your explosive roll now?
Oh, wait! Can I luck? Can I luck?
Oh.
You're gonna luck it.
Push it. What do I do? How do I do this?
Just roll again.
If you say you're going to push this roll and you fail it,
can I
you get
use
punished.
luck? Yeah, because I've only got to use 9
doesn't
points
work.
to make it a success. Yeah, I'm going to use luck.
Oh wait, can
Okay.
we use luck to like Bowie our roll? Is that how it
Yes.
works?
Yep.
Yes. But you can't get it back once you've used it.
Yeah.
At
you
all. Not
lose-
even like
once,
for a long
once
rest.
luck is gone, it's gone. It's like
Yeah, but I've
I don't
got
know
a
the
lot
best
of
way
luck.
to-
Okay,
out,
I'm
get
quite
out,
happy
or
to
something.
lose
Yeah.
9 points of luck, turn that into a success.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. So you spend your luck points and you get a success on this. So you set the fuse, you set the explosives around where the hinges should be. So I imagine that would be the best place you'd put
Yeah.
it, because you can't see any locks. Because you lucked it so well, you have a fuse wire with you, or fuse string with you. So you pull back towards where Harris and Wilfred are hunkered down, and you pull out your lighter and you light the end of the fuse, and you hear it going down the corridor, and then a massive explosion. Like maybe you've probably used a bit too much explosives for this, and the whole sewer shakes. At this point, Marcus and Cicero, along with Williamson and Adams, hear the bang. It sounds it's echoing all the way down the tunnel, and the sewer is now shaking. What are you fine gentlemen going to do at this point?
I'm going to turn to them and
Yeah,
go,
we gotta get
sewer gas is
That's something
bloody
happened.
dangerous stuff. Oh no, not them!
We
I'm
can't
talking
hear
the guys
that.
I'm
We
with.
just hear
The
the
we
guys
can
I'm
just hear an
with.
explosion,
Sewer gas
we-
is bloody dangerous stuff.
Is your hair like blown back and like you've got like a mask over your
Well,
eyes like a
where
clock?
there's like goggles and it's like clear underneath the goggles, but black everywhere else.
Are Marcus and Cicero are going to run towards where the explosion was? Because the
Yeah,
sewer
yeah.
stopped shaking at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, it stopped shaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're still at the other door, aren't we?
Yeah, but I mean, you could book it if you want to.
Well, how heavy is this door? Is it like a metal thing, or what?
Well, your gate isn't going anywhere unless you've got a lockpick or you've got a key. So,
Okay. All right. Well,
you've just heard a big explosion.
Yeah, let's go back to the explosion then. I think.
Okay. So you two and the two constables run off down the tunnel. You can see the smoke billowing out from tunnel number 2. So you assume that whatever's happened has happened down there. You run down it, and then that's when you spot
This
Craster, Wilfred, and Harrison all sitting on the floor in the water, like waving their hands in their faces, blowing away the dust from the explosion. Absolutely
What the
drenched.
hell happened here?
I just imagine this silhouette on the wall with like.
And it's a sewer gas explosion. It's really quite lethal stuff. But luckily, I think it might have dislodged that door for us.
Can you give us some warning next time?
Is he going to look you dead in the face and just go, "Oh no"?
Wilfred, are you okay? Are you like shell shocked at the moment, or what?
You haven't tried.
Yeah,
to
I'd
sketch
imagine
it
that's
yet.
kind of knocked me for 6.
Okay, so you guys, fucking hell. Do you all sort of like get up and dust yourselves off, and you wander off down the tunnel towards this door that Craster's just mentioned, and lo and behold, you see that this thing is now open.
Hey.
There doesn't seem to be any light on the inside, and if there was, the explosion's probably blown out any candles or fire that was in there. But Williamson walks up with his torch. He takes the torch off of Harris, who's a little bit shaken at this point, and shines it in around the room. And all you hear him go is, "Core blimey." Thank you for listening to episode 3 of Spectre and the Fog, Descent into Madness. Tracks used in this week's episode are Abandoned Windmill from tabletopaudio.com, Haunted from tabletopaudio.com, and, as always, various sound effects from freefx.co.uk. Until next time, my friends, keep investigating.